Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today's pick a card reading, we have a pretty open-ended question. This is going to ask Spirit, the universe, your spirit guides, etc., whatever you feel most personally connected to, whoever entity or whatever energy you're seeking a message from now. Basically, what is most important for you to hear at the moment you're viewing this video? So it could cover any topic, relationships, career, self-development. We'll see what comes up. Without further ado, let us pick our piles. So for pile number 1's over here on the left, I have the Mouse and Buttercup. For pile number 2 is in the middle, I have the Eel and Iris. And for my pile number 3's, we have the Beaver and Birch. So just to reiterate, pile 1's Mouse and Buttercup, pile 2's Eel and Iris, and pile 3's Beaver and Birch. Feel free, as always, to meditate on these piles, see which one calls the most to you. I always recommend to people to go with your gut instinct, whatever drew your attention or feels right first, okay? Drop down to the description box and or the top pinned comment beneath the video. Find the timestamps, click on the timestamp for your reading, and I will see you in our discussion about a message you're meant to hear. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1's. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a message you're meant to hear. As I described in the intro, this is a pretty wild card, excuse the pun, open-ended reading. We'll see what comes through, but as you recall, the card you did use to pick your pile was number 0, the Mouse and Buttercup with Innocence. And this particular card is very similar, for those of you familiar with the tarot system, to the Fool card in tarot. This is about new beginnings. It's about new journeys. Hence the Innocence. It's kind of like stepping forth on a new adventure, okay? So I'm going to set your pile leader over here to the left, as always, next to the pine cone. And then, of course, I already pre-picked the oracle cards, like always. We'll talk about those in a second. And then on camera, I always like to pull the tarot cards. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1's, could you give me 5 tarot cards explaining more about what's the message they're meant to hear? What's going on, please? For their best interests, for their highest good, by pile number 1's. Thank you. Okay, there's one. We have a flyer today. All right. So... and then I feel like that one right there, pile number, or excuse me, card number 2, I should say, not pile. 3. I'm feeling that one right there, 4. And how about right there, 5. There we go, my lovely pile number 1's. Get our ducks in a row, as I always say. So first we'll go over the oracle cards and what they say, what their messages are, and then we'll talk about the tarot cards in a second. So, we have the first card, which is from the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds. You received today number 35, the Pathway, Direction, Purpose, and Change. We have a figure who has crossed a bridge, and now she is looking up a hill towards a light. Okay, a guiding star, perhaps. Direction, Purpose, and Change. Fascinating. Maybe you have some sort of eyes on a prize of some sort. Especially in tandem with the Mouse and Buttercup being like a new journey, right? Okay. And then we have the Dream Ritual Oracle. Today you received Calm. We have a cup of tea, some, looks like a plant growing out of it with a window looking inside and a pretty comfortable looking chair on a soft, pillowy set of clouds. So it looks like a fantastic place to have a cup of tea, doesn't it? Calm. I think I'm already getting some sort of message, but I like to kind of wait until I have every card on the board before I say everything, okay? So we'll put Calm over here, and then we'll put the Pathway over here. And then last but not least, for your oracle cards, we have your Power of Surrender card. Today, you're asking, or being asked to surrender. Surrender to Spirit. It says, once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let Spirit work its magic for you. So pile number 1's, I won't expand on it quite fully until we reveal your tarot cards, but I'm already getting some sort of message through, some sort of theme about setting off on a new journey and you being potentially a little bit worried about it is how I would put it. Potentially a bit worried about it, potentially worried about where this is going. Did I make the right choice towards this new path? You know, especially because with your surrender to spirit, it says once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine and let spirit work its magic. So it's like you've already kind of put in the effort to something, and now you're at that really, you know, nail-biting phase of like, oh, did I do the right thing? You know, not insecurity, so to speak, just more anxiety is probably a better word for it. Hence, maybe some focus on calm with your calm card. Having a cup of tea, right? Tea is great. All right, and then let us get to the tarot cards. So your first tarot card for today is the Ace of Cups reversed. Feeling like, well, cups are emotions, right? It's the water suit of tarot. And the ace is like new beginnings or like a new urge of something. And especially with it being cups, it's like a new urge of emotion or asking for more of that because it is reversed. So to summarize the Ace of Cups, I rambled on a little bit there. Reversed, I would say it's denying a new feeling or a negative feeling about something new. And we already saw a lot of that theme of newness with everything else here with that new journey I think you're embarking on. You're right at that precipice, it almost feels like. Or you've just taken the step off the precipice and now you're in the free fall of, oh crap, did I do the right thing? Like, what's going on? Does the universe have my back? That kind of feeling. Tarot number 2 is the World. This is the last card in the major arcana, meaning the end of a phase of your life. So there's a lot about beginnings and now even endings too with the World. Interesting. Third is the Knight of Wands, taking action with our passions or creativity. Wands are fire, right? Our willpower, what brings us to life in terms of our spirit. Passions can be another interpretation of wands. Taking action with our passions. Okay. Card number 4, we have the Star. Having hope or faith in something. Remember what we said before? With your surrender to spirit, you've done the work, now let the divine handle it. You've done the work, keep hope. And then same thing with your pathway card. She's looking up at she's already crossed the hard part of crossing the water with the bridge, and she's already looking up at that star or that bright light up there. The Star, having hope or faith in something. Have I made the right decision? I walked off the precipice into something new, and now, oh crap, like I said before, did I make the right decision is kind of the feeling I'm getting intuitively off of this reading. And then last but not least, your final tarot card is the Wheel of Fortune. Lovely. The Wheel of Fortune is all about karma. What goes up must come down. Specifically because it is upright, it usually means good luck or good favor for you, pile number 1. So this is actually a pretty fantastic reading to receive, especially if you've been worried a lot lately about something, is what I'm feeling, picking up on from the cards that are popping out. So let me adjust my cards a little bit here, and then I am going to take one tiny little sip and adjust in my chair. Apologize always for squeaky chair noises as I move. And then I'm going to look over your cards and take a drink. 1 second. Okay. My lovely pile number 1s, it's kind of already what I said on the tin. There is an aspect of your life where you've started embarking on a new journey. Most of the time when I do tarot readings for my channel, a lot of the messaging is around pushing people towards having the confidence to start a new journey or to follow a new dream. For you pile number 1s, the feeling I'm getting is that, like I said before, you already have walked over that precipice of, okay, I'm going to take my first step onto this new journey. But now you're having the emotions of having walked beyond the doorway. It's not the should I, can I, it's the I did. I hope everything turns out fine. I'm a little bit worried. Maybe perhaps you're not even seeing success as quickly as you thought you would. Or there's just a lot of tumultuous, stormy feelings I'm getting off of this reading about I don't know how things are going to work out. I hope I didn't make a mistake. That type of thinking, that anxious thinking about that. Everyone, not just you, pile number ones, everyone has whenever they start something new. It could have been you started a new job recently or a new type of career. Perhaps you started a new degree and you're like, I don't know if this is the right thing for me. Like, did I decide the right major or focus or certification, depending on the level of degree or education you're seeking, right? Could have been even a new relationship, pile number ones. Perhaps you started a new relationship recently. Based on the cards I'm getting, you have a lot of... See, and in my readings, if you're not familiar with my channel, if you haven't seen one of my videos before, I tend to like to look at the type of cards I get in terms of what suits they're from, and then also extrapolate from that what area of life this is relevant to. I know I listed off just a bunch of them. For your particular reading, I'm not getting any one specific area of your life. It's probably because I tend to see that where the general reading applies to a lot more of a variety of categories in people's lives, depending on who has picked the specific reading, pile number one. But I do see there are a lot of major arcana. We have the World, we have the Star, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, pile number ones. And what that tells me, and for those of you familiar with my videos, you already know I'm going to say, when I see a lot of major arcana cards in a reading, I tend to get a feeling that means this is related to a major life lesson that your soul is going through right now, or it is a major life change. Specifically, even look at your hidden worlds. Direction, purpose, change, the pathway. I have decided to go down this path. I have overcome a pretty major bridge over tumultuous waters, and now I've crossed the bridge. What's ahead of me? Keep my eyes on the prize, keep my eyes on the star, keeping hope and faith in this, okay? With the actual star card that you got. So, the major issue that Spirit wants to speak to you about right now, though, pile number ones, is not just the mental state around this new journey for you. Because yes, I'm getting a big feeling of anxiety. That's very common, very normal after we start something new. But also a little bit of tumultuous emotions. And I say that because you got the Ace of Cups reversed. And what that tells me is because of the newness, which is the quality of the ace, right? Because of the newness of this journey, it's like, how do I best put it? So for example, and this might not specifically apply to you, but I'm just using this as an example. Sometimes when we embark on a new journey or a new step into something different than what we've been doing before, we can feel really gung-ho and excited and just ecstatic about it, right? Before we take that step. And then, it's almost what I'm seeing intuitively for you, pile number ones, is like you're walking on the edge of a cliff. It's kind of like the traditional depiction of the Fool card, if you've ever seen the original Rider-Waite-Smith version. It's like someone walking to the edge of a cliff and they're on that precipice, like I mentioned before. And, it looks kind of fun starting on a new journey. But then the emotions of reality set in with this Ace of Cups reversed of, okay, now I am past the point of I jumped off the cliff into something new. And symbolically that means, you go from solid ground, right, earth, to something where you feel like there's nothing under your feet. You feel like nothing is kind of holding you up. It could be, for example, if you started a business, there's that insecurity of, God, did I just put a bunch of money into something that I'm going to regret? Like, is this a good investment? That type of feeling. So just general anxiety, worries, especially in terms of your emotions about how new this is. And you're trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I feel about this? Did I make a mistake? But commending you, though, is with the Knight of Wands right here is taking action on your passions. Well, not just commending you, it's also encouraging you to keep taking action on your passions. Whatever this new thing is for you, pile number ones, that you've embarked on, Spirit is encouraging you to keep going down this path. Don't give up now. Don't have faith with the star, right? Keep hope and keep faith. That's literally what the star means. Because not only is it closing a door on a chapter of a previous area of where it's closing the book on a previous chapter of your life, right? With the world being the end of a phase. it is also bringing you to a future of better abundance with the Wheel of Fortune. Like I said when I first pulled this out, the Wheel of Fortune upright is usually a pretty good sign of good luck, okay? Something fantastic happening in terms of karma, in terms of what's coming your way. You know, if it was reversed, then maybe not so good, but you got it upright today. So what they're saying is to keep on this path. Keep on the way that you've been going down. Keep going with this new adventure, and you'll be rewarded for taking action with your passions, embodying the quality of the Knight of Wands, who says, you know, there's something that sparks my passion and my excitement deep down, and I'm going to charge forth and race for it and take it into my own hands, okay? So that's what I'm seeing so far in terms of like the context of what Spirit wants to talk to you about today. Now, we already see some pieces of advice on how to go forward with this pile number ones. Keep going. It's a pretty big flashing neon sign, I like to say. Keep going the way you're going with this new path. But we also have this card over here from the Dream Ritual Oracle. I'm going to try to kind of weave it around my gold foliage there. With calm. And as you can see, there is a teacup. It looks pretty comfortable. It looks pretty cushy. I mean, who wouldn't love to sit on, you know, a bed of clouds with some tea? That sounds like a fantastic time, doesn't it? And so that's, you know, piece of advice number one for you pile number ones is to just keep calm. Now, that's easier said than done, because oftentimes living in our human incarnations in this life that we're in right now, there is no feeling of certainty. Now, the universe, from the bird's eye view, that the universe and your spirit guides and your spirit team, ancestors, etc., whoever you personally call on most or rely on for your spiritual team, they see it from the bird's eye view, and they already know what's coming. And so it's really easy for them to say, well, I guarantee you just keep going. But in our human incarnations, you know, when things like we have to worry about money, we have to worry about security, basically those kind of the same thing. We have to worry about everything else going on in our lives at the same time that we're embarking on a new journey, because yeah, you can start a new education or go get education. You can start a new business. You can start a new relationship. And that's all well and good, but you also have other facets of your life to pay attention to. It's just by being in our human incarnation, we get so entrenched in the 3D and entrenched in our day-to-day lives that it can just feel overwhelming, on top of feeling like this sense of uncertainty. So the universe, you know, it's easy for your spirit guides, like I said, to say, hey, be calm, it's fine. Okay? But what they're really emphasizing is to really trust in that, just because not only, yeah, you got calm, but you also got, like I said before, the star. That is having hope or faith in something. As hard as it is, sometimes the strongest we can be in our lives is when we're willing to take a leap of faith and hope that everything will turn out okay. So if you've been worried lately that this is going to go badly, I would not worry at all, pile number ones. You're getting fantastic feedback here from these cards, you know, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. Fantastic card to get in terms of if you're wondering about the outcome of something upright. It's just, you know, take time for self-care. Take time for a deep breath, you know, especially with your calm card here. Maybe even actually drink some tea. Fantastic calming drink, or maybe something warm. It could be, you know, cider, hot chocolate, whatever you prefer. Something that keeps you calm, keeps you warm. Just don't forget self-care and attending to your mental and emotional health, especially with that Ace of Cups reversed here in this time of newness. But yes, like I said, you are, as hard as it is to believe sometimes, because like I said, your spirit team from a bird's eye view, they know what's going to happen, but it's really hard to have faith in that until it actually happens here on Earth in our 3D incarnation here, where we're like, okay, well now I get it, they were right. But sometimes you just have to have hope and have faith that things will work out just fine. Let's see if there's any other messages here before I would like to also pull some advice cards for you from the tarot deck. Let me check these cards first, though, to make sure that I gleaned the most message, helpful, what they wanted to convey to you most before we move on. So let me look at your surrender card here for 1 second. Yeah, you know, so yeah, it says once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. You've already put in the effort into the universe, pile number ones. You've already put out the intention into the universe for this thing to come to fruition and to go well. Right now, if you've been asking yourself, is there anything more I can do to have a semblance of control over the outcome? What Spirit is saying, and perhaps that's what this life lesson is, based on all the major arcana cards you've been getting, like I said, that I tend to see an abundance of those in readings when there's a life lesson or a major life change involved, is learning to let go of the idea of control and having hope and faith in things. Because here's the thing that we all realize as we go along in our human lives. There is never 100% guarantee of, like, well, I don't want to say never 100% guarantee of anything. There's never anything that we have 100% control over. There's always just even the tiniest glimpse of the universe has to take some of its own alchemy into account, some of its own machinations of turning the wheel of fortune, you know, like the wheel, you literally got the wheel of fortune, to make things work out to come your way. So sometimes it just takes a little hope. Sometimes it takes just a little bit of faith. Sometimes it takes just a little bit of time. This is guaranteeing you that you've already done everything you can. You've already put it out there into the aether, and you've said, okay, universe, here is my neat little package to you. You know, everything was given to the universe, and now it's just waiting for it to give it back, with the guarantee based on this particular reading that everything will be returned to you that you're looking for from this new venture, this new journey that you've taken. So if you've been having some insecurity or anxiety about, oh man, I don't know if I picked the right path doing this, I don't know if this was a good idea, just take a deep breath, have some tea or cider, hot chocolate, whatever you prefer, and know that the universe has it in its hands and it's going to carry your intention back to you. You're being guaranteed that here with this reading. Also being commended for the bravery of having taken this new path, taken this new journey, because that's not easy. Like I said earlier, a lot of my tarot readings are encouraging people, hey, try that new thing, do that, go for that dream you've had. You're one of the rarer ones here where I'm literally telling you, you've already done everything you've needed to, just wait for the universe to get back to you. They're processing other emails right now, so to speak, before they can reply to yours, metaphorically speaking, of course. So let's pull some tarot cards for you, my lovely pile number ones. Maybe 3 different cards for you of advice on processing through this time, or keeping going on your path on this new journey that you've embarked on, this new perhaps business, education, new home, relationship, whatever might specifically apply to you. You know, Spirit, for my lovely pile number ones, could you give me 3 cards of advice for them on navigating through this time of maybe waiting for the universe to kind of get back to them, and or just general advice on how to move forward with confidence and not so much anguish about controlling the outcome, please. 3 cards, thank you. Oh boy, well, I think that's 2. Okay, I believe that's 2. So, spoiler alert, you already saw 2 of them. We have Death reversed and we have the 4 of Swords reversed. So I'm actually just going to set those down here. Yes. Can't force the outcome. And then I will pick one more for the 3rd one. I'm feeling this one right here for you, pile 3. So you received the 6 of Swords reversed. Yes. So right on, I always kind of like to describe the tarot cards as I pull them out, because I like to explain them kind of one by one. So Death reversed is about, so Death in tarot looks scary, but like the Phoenix here depicted on this particular tarot deck, it's more of a rebirth than it is an actual death. It's more of a time of transformation than anything. Reversed, it's talking about things have not transformed yet. It's kind of acknowledging, yes, you're in the time of, you know, the phoenix is burning, but it hasn't risen from the ashes yet. It's still in the process of combusting to kind of create the materials to form the new. Basically, this period of waiting you're in right now that has been causing you some mental anguish or anxiety or a little bit of fear is probably a good emotion to associate with it. They're acknowledging that, yes, just know that you're still in the time of the phoenix burning. The ashes are not ready yet to form anew with this new journey. You have to sometimes wait for things just to break down or to process, to digest in the universe for it to come back to you. And then you also have the Four of Swords reversed. Four of Swords reversed is the energy of taking, not action, it's more moving from a time of rest to a time of more energy, of more waking up, usually because like upright it's like someone's sleeping, and then reversed it's like someone waking up. Things are waking up for you, pile number ones. You're right on the edge of, like I said, the phoenix being reborn and things waking up, you know, perfect time. Of course, well, my readings are always timeless, but at the time I'm recording this video, it's spring. That's the season I kind of associate with your reading. It just kind of popped into my head is you've already planted the seeds. Now it's just the time of letting things grow. You've already watered it. You've already given it sunlight. You've already given it good soil with lots of nutrients. This new thing you've embarked on. Just give it time to come to life on its own. Okay? And then we have the Six of Swords reversed. Six of Swords upright typically is moving away from something. Reversed, it's not moving away from something. If you have any doubt in your head, pile number ones about, oh, maybe this was a mistake, I should just retract and go back. Do not. This is a card of staying put, staying place in where you are. So to summarize your reading, pile number ones, you're on a new journey. I haven't seen anything about what specifically that might be. It could be a new career, job, relationship, business, education, something new that you've embarked on that you've been having some mental anguish about recently. What Spirit is telling you, pile number ones, is that not only is this related to a major life lesson or major life change that's important to your lessons here on Earth, as in this particular incarnation, but it is the right step. You've taken the right step. Have hope, have faith. They're encouraging you. It's just sometimes things need time to digest before you see the results, or seeds need time to kind of get ready before they sprout. So, yes, I know the anticipation is probably killing you, you know, as it always is, you know, even using the seed metaphor, with my garden every spring, I get anxious about, okay, when is it going to sprout? When is it going to sprout? When is this thing going to grow? But sometimes the universe just needs time to digest and process through things. Stay put where you are and have faith that the divine has it in their hands and they will return your message back to you. They'll get back to your metaphorical spirit email, right? Okay, so pile number ones, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. Good luck on your new venture. I see a lot of success with this, with that Wheel of Fortune we talked about earlier. So congrats to you, even though maybe you don't have quite faith or hope in that it'll work yet because you just haven't seen it come to life yet, or you haven't seen it sprout yet, but it will. Your spirit guides have your back. The universe has your back, okay? So I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, okay? Bye, pile number one. Hello there, my lovely pile number twos. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a message you're meant to hear. As we discussed in the intro, this is going to be a pretty wild card, like I said, excuse the pun, reading. Could be romance, career, let's see what else, other topics, maybe self-improvement, a spiritual message. We'll just kind of see what the universe wants to talk to you about most today. So, as you recall, the card used to pick your pile was the Eel and Iris, and the subtitle for this card is Safety. You know, we always kind of associate eels with, like, if you've ever seen video of an eel, or if you've actually seen an eel in real life, they tend to kind of hide in the mud and they kind of tend to peek out. So that talks a lot about that theme of safety, of kind of waiting, kind of hiding, making sure you're safe before you do something. So we'll set your pile leader over here to the left, as always, next to the pine cone. And first up, we have oracle cards that I already drew. We'll talk about those in a second, and then I always like to pull the tarot cards on camera. So for my lovely pile number twos today, Spirit, can you give me 5 cards explaining more about what this message they're meant to hear is? Maybe something to do with safety, we talked about with your Eel and Iris card. 5, please. Thank you. Oh boy, well, I can't take the whole deck. I wish I could read 20 cards for you, but I don't have either the space, nor, well, the reading probably would go on forever, pile twos, so let's shuffle those again. Okay, pile twos, 5 cards, please. Apparently they had a lot to say to you. Like, we have a whole backlog of messages to get to you, pile number twos. Okay. So, number 1, number 2, Let's see, what else? 3, 4, one's also calling our name, and I feel like one of these, 5. Okay, I'm gonna adjust on my chair. It's a little bit taller so my short self can reach the desk a bit more. Let's reveal your cards, pile 2. So first up we have the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds you received. You have a landscape card, number 26, the Meditation. Peace, relief, sanctuary. We have a figure who is holding incense, meditating on this hill. That would just be the most fantastic place to meditate in the entire world, don't you think? I wish I had a place to meditate like that. Gorgeous. Beautiful. So we're going to set that up here. And of course, we'll talk about the message more in tandem or after every card has come out. Next up, we have your Dream Ritual Oracle. You received Reframe. So perhaps adjusting the way we look at something, maybe from a more minuscule to bird's eye view, or rethinking the way we view a certain memory or an event ahead of us. We'll see what else pops out with tarot. We'll get more of that nitty-gritty. Actually, I'm going to shift these over. We're going to set Reframe next to your pile leader. Reframe, the meditation, and then your surrender card is Surrender Worry. I'll read the message off here for you, pile 2s. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. So perhaps there's something that's been plaguing your mind a bit lately in terms of anxiety, being worried about things, especially too in tandem with your meditation about peace, relief, sanctuary. Perhaps you came to this reading wanting to be assured of something. Okay. Let's look at your tarot cards in finality here. So number 1, we have the Knight of Pentacles, taking action in the material world. We'll see if there's an abundance of other pentacles, because sometimes this can mean taking action in terms of your career or business. Interesting. Taking action in the material world. Number 2, we have the 8 of Cups reversed. Not emotionally moving on from something is what that means. Interesting. Number 3, we have the 9 of Wands. Persistence, diligence, determination, holding out till the end. Yes. I'm getting a bit of an intuitive hit here, pile 2s. I almost wonder... I don't want to say it yet because I just want to make sure the other cards come out before I say it, but something to do with like worries about the end of a job has been kind of your anxiety lately, but we'll see. Number 4, we have the Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity in the world of business or career or finances. So that's kind of what I was just saying. And I thought, remember I said earlier, if you have multiple pentacles, I think this might be your career-oriented reading, but of course we'll see what the 5th one is. So a new opportunity in the material world. Then last but not least, we have a Major Arcana reverse, the Devil, freeing ourselves. Well, Devil reversed is freeing ourselves. Freeing ourselves from the binds that chain us. Or I should say the chains that bind us. I guess it both works, but... So pile number 2s. Yeah, so the intuitive hit I was getting before that I mentioned, and I was like, well, I don't want to spoil it. I just want to make sure I, get the cards out before I say, I get too far in the weeds with what I think I'm getting in. This, I'm pretty sure is about the end of a job, and I don't want to say that to scare you in terms of, if your job seems pretty stable right now, that, you're going to lose your job. That's not what this message is about. It's more about, I think you've been considering leaving a certain place. I think you've been considering of what's my leaping off point. Perhaps you've been seeing writing on the wall at this particular job about, I don't know if I'm going to be let go. That's very common nowadays, especially in our economic climate at the time that this reading is being recorded, that there's a lot of uncertainty in the world in terms of money in the material world. Okay, the pentacles of the world are a little shaky right now, or the coins, we should say. Sometimes they're called coins, sometimes they're called pentacles, but so... And I say that because, not only do we have an abundance of pentacles with Ace and the Knight taking action in a new opportunity, which almost tells me you're considering making a move into something new in terms of the material world, but there's something holding you back right now. And it's a question of safety. It's a question of worry. Not only did you have the Eel and Iris with the tagline of safety, that was your pile leader, right? You know, as I pulled it out, we talked about how the eel kind of waits in the mud and then it peeks out and then it might shrink back a little bit, just making sure it's safe before it goes. That's how I almost see you, pile number 2, is I think you're biding your time, and or you're wondering if you should bide your time and when, if and or when you should leave a certain place. It could technically be something other than a job or career. I think for most of you that's what it is. But I'm pretty sure it could also be a home, technically, maybe where you're living. Sometimes I see that as the interpretation of Pentacles too, because it is the material world. It's the security around us. And, you know, with your reframe card here from your Dream Ritual Oracle, you do have a house in the background here in the back of the card. So it's a question of, should I feel at peace? Should I worry? Am I safe? Do I emotionally move on? I almost kind of feel like you're still clinging a little bit to whatever this is, because the Eight of Cups is reversed. It's the feeling of, I have not moved on from something emotionally, but I think you're already at the precipice of, I don't know, like I'm holding out here with the Nine of Wands, but the going is getting pretty dang tough, and I think I should look for new opportunities and take action in the material world and free myself with the Devil reversed going forward. It's just that question of, should I, shouldn't I, is it safe, is it the right thing to do? That type of thing. And what Spirit is saying for you, pile number 2, is if this is your worry, well, surrender worry. That's kind of what it was saying here. Like, I'll read this off again just to reiterate. It says, surrender worry, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body, focus on the power of your heart, and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. So whatever you're worried about, be it either you're at the precipice of, I don't know, they might let me go, if there is economic hardship at whatever company you're at, you know, or it could even be if you own your own business, maybe you're really worried right now because of the economy. Like, what's a good example? Like, maybe sales aren't coming in as much, and so you're kind of like, I don't know if I can keep going with this. Like, they're saying surrender worry. It's okay. It's very natural that things are downturning right now because of the outside circumstances of our world with how the economy is going, right? Everybody's getting hit with the economy right now, pretty much, like 99% of us. So, you know, surrender the worry, take a deep breath. It's okay. You'll be just fine no matter what happens. You'll always land in the place you're meant to be, or land in the place you're supposed to be, pile number 2. And oftentimes, when the universe urges us to leave a certain place, it's because it's better for us in the end anyways, or there's a life lesson to be extracted there in the new place that we weren't able to extract from where we were. So yeah, but I would, surrender worry. I wouldn't worry about it. You know, especially in tandem with the meditation 26, peace, relief, sanctuary. This is literally like, you have 2 cards that are like, just calm down, it's okay. You know, as much as, I mean, they're not chastising you for being worried, because yes, it is very scary when we do consider the possibility of, I might get let go from a job, my business might not do as well as I need it to, or what I'm expecting it to, based on, you know, financial trajectories on how I was doing before. Things like that. You know, maybe even if it is you've already searched for a new job, like this Ace of Pentacles, maybe you've already taken action with the Knight and the Ace of Pentacles, and the job search has been grueling, hence the Knight of Wands. And you're like, do I just move on from, you know, trying to work from someone else? Maybe even you're considering, should I work for myself, because I'm not really finding, you know, many takers buying on my job interviews. And so it's this question of what's solid rock underneath me, what isn't, what's safe and what isn't, especially with your Eel and Iris, okay? And what Spirit is saying here is, you know, the key, I think, for me, or what I'm being intuitively told to tell you, is the reframe card here. Reframing the way you view this particular situation. I'm going to pull some more tarot cards to ask how you should reframe it, okay? Because I want to get their advice on kind of what's the mental shift they're suggesting you take to bring you to a place of more peace and surrendering that worry. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 2s, could you tell me how you would suggest they reframe the way they view this particular situation, and that maybe will give us some more nitty-gritty details of actually like what to expect in the future, maybe just a little glimpse. So 3 cards, please, of advice. How should they reframe this, would you suggest? Or would you encourage them, let's say? Because we always have free will. Spirit will never tell you you have to do something, but... So we have number 1, the moon, illusions. What's real, what's not? What's fooling us, what isn't? Okay, things are not what they seem, pile number 2s. That's what the moon means. Things are not what they seem. I think you might be... Let me pull out the other cards and then I'll get to that. Number 2, we have the Page of Swords reverse. Pages are like apprentices. They're exploratory. The Page of Swords is more about exploring the mind. In reverse, it's asking for more exploration of thought. Maybe even meditating on this, hence the meditation card, would be good for you, pile number 2s. And then we have, let's see, I'm going to pull this one here, the Hanged Man, another major arcana. The Hanged Man is about viewing things from a different perspective. So you have, and my longtime viewers are going to laugh, I call it a hammer reading. And what that means is that you have a reading where a lot of similar messages are being it's like a nail or a hammer on a nail, beating it repeatedly, nailing it down. You're being repeatedly told with this hammer reading, as I call it, pile number 2s, things are not what they seem. You need to look at this from a different perspective. I don't want to say that you're being pessimistic, because I think where you're at right now mentally is very understandable for the situation that you're in, because maybe there's been layoffs where you work, or maybe the job search has not been going the best, things like that. But whatever it is that you've been worrying about, things are not what they seem, and they're asking you to explore it from a different perspective, perhaps even meditate on it with the meditation. Surrender your worry. Reframe the way you're viewing this situation. Now, it's good to be like the eel. It's good to keep safety in mind. You know, we don't want to be complete risk takers, because that just leads to a lot of bumps and bruises. But if you could just identify what's the key fear you have deep down about what's going on that's been plaguing you, pile number 2s. If you were to ask yourself right now, what am I most afraid of with this particular situation? And after you get that answer, know that what Spirit is saying is that they're encouraging you to reframe that fear with the context in mind of there's a different way to think about it. Think about it from a different perspective, and there's something that's not what it seems here with the moon. That's what they're saying to you. Okay? That's their advice in terms of reframing. Now, I also want to I'm going to pull an extra 3 cards for you today, pile number 2s, of advice in general on how to go forward with this situation. Kind of like what's the next best step, or how to kind of act going forward. So let's do that. So Spirit, for my lovely pile number 2s, could you give me 3 cards of advice on how to kind of move forward? I know we talked about the reframing, and we talked about things are not what they seem, different perspectives, etc., exploring new mental shifts with the Page of Swords reverse, but I would like if you could give pile number 2s more about like steps forward. What's the best advice you could give them in general with this situation? 3 cards, please. Thank you. Yep, things are not what they seem, pile number 2s. I 100% get it. I'm a worry wart myself. If I were to shame you for it, I would be the pot calling the kettle black, right? But the thing is, oh, that's number 2. We'll do that one. And then sometimes worry can be all for nothing, and we'll have spent mental energy and stress and a few extra gray hairs just for nothing. And that's kind of what Spirit is saying, is you don't have to worry in this situation, whatever that fear deep down is that you've been worrying about. Okay, so card number 1, which was, well, I pulled it on the bottom, so I'll flip it over here. We received the 4 of Wands reversed. Okay, this is typically the card of happiness at home or celebration reversed. It's something to do with either something negative in the home. This card kind of requires more context, so I'm going to pull the other cards before I say for sure what that is. Okay. Card number 2 you received was the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune reversed can mean thinking about things in it's like a bad turn of luck. And now don't run away from the reading and be like, oh no, it's going to go to crap. Just wait. But the Wheel of Fortune reverse does mean like a bad turn of luck, okay? But this is advice. This isn't predictions, so. And then last but not least, we have the Tower reversed, okay? So a lot of major arcana in this reading. I always say in my readings, if there's a lot of major arcana, I tend to see that this is related to a major life change or a major life lesson, okay? The Tower reverse specifically means that there is something built on shaky foundations that would be better if it were torn down to build a better pathway for a new future. That's what the Tower reverse means. And as scary as the Tower card is, it's actually one of my favorite cards in tarot because it has such a complex, beautiful meaning. So now with the context of the Four of Wands reversed next to the Wheel of Fortune reversed and the Tower reversed, pile number 2 is Spirit is saying, in terms of advice going forward with this worry, let's see, I'm actually going to take a second here. I'm going to take a drink as well. Sorry, my voice is getting a little bit dry. I think what they're saying is it's not time just yet for things to change. And I say that because there is the Tower reversed here. The Tower reversed, like I said, is something hasn't come down yet. But I will preface that. Well, I guess I won't preface. I'll provide further information on that. Pile number 2 is in that whatever comes your way, you might think of it as bad luck and a time of, oh crap. Because of, yes, we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed here, and then we have the Four of Wands reversed, which is like celebration in the reverse of a celebration. Maybe a little bit of time of like, uh-oh. So don't run away from the reading. But what this is saying is that whatever happens, pile number 2, it is in your best interest to happen, okay? Because, like I said with the meaning of the Tower, that beautiful card that people run away from, but it's actually really beautiful. Things in our lives, in the universe, end because they pave ways for new beginnings. There's something built on shaky foundations that if it were to be torn down, it would be better in the end anyways. So you might view it as, okay, this is bad luck. And I'm not saying for sure pile number 3 is, especially because, or excuse me, pile number 2, so I was thinking 3 cards. I'm not saying, it's not saying for sure that something bad's going to happen, especially because earlier we said, you know, we had the meditation, you know, peace, sanctuary, surrender, worry. Don't worry about it, is what they're telling you. Okay? Whatever happens is meant to happen, and you'll end up in a place that's better than it was before. And I think that's what that reframe earlier also was kind of talking about, is reframing this from a situation of chaos, or thinking of it as a time of chaos and bad luck and uh-oh, to, you know what? The universe is going to guide me to someplace better anyways, and so I'm going to take peace in the potential chaos, or the uncertainty, I guess is a better word. I'm going to take peace in what's happening because it's going to free me into something better no matter what path I take forwards, okay? And on top of that, earlier, the main spread at the bottom here, we have, you know, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups reversed, Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and the Devil reversed. That's just a double confirmation for me that if this thing that you're worried about does happen, pile number 2, I'm not saying for certainty that it will, but if it does, it's in your best favor because it's going to provide a new opportunity in the material world with that Ace of Pentacles. And the Devil reversed is a fantastic card to get at the end here. I like to kind of read, sometimes I like to read the main cards sequentially. And so at the end here with the Devil reversed, it's I am free from something. I almost guarantee you that wherever you're at right now, pile number 2, you're probably not 100% happy with it, especially like if it's a particular job. It might not be so much that's the loss of this particular job that you are worried about. Say it is maybe an economic downturn that you've come to this reading worrying about, or an economic downturn or financial downturn at your company, I guess I should say a little bit more specific there. It's that you're worried about the lack of safety, hence maybe why you picked the Eel and Iris for your pile leader's safety. But Spirit is saying, reframe this. Look at this not as, oh crap, look at it as this is clearing out the old, like we said with, did you have death reversed earlier? Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was the other pile today. Clearing out the old to make way for the new, especially with that tower reversed. There's something better in the future for you no matter what happens, pile number 2s, and that's why they're asking you to reframe the way you think about this and to be at peace with whatever comes your way, because it is going to free you with that Devil reversed. Something better is coming. Okay? See if there's any other messages here I want to get to you before I sign off. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything for you, pile number 2s. Meditate. Explore more about this situation. Things are not what they seem. That's kind of the main thing I'm being told to convey to you, pile number 2s. Things are not what they seem with that moon earlier when we asked, okay, how should you reframe the way you think about it? Things are not what they seem. Things maybe aren't as bleak as they seem. Maybe this is an opportunity rather than a challenge. Okay? So with that, I will leave you today, pile number 2s. Please, please, please just know that the universe has your best intentions in mind. Please, please, please don't be anxious or worry about this, because you're well on the way to something better no matter what happens. That's what that tower reversed means. It's that, yes, it hasn't fallen down yet, but especially with the Devil reversed down here, it's something that's going to free you into a new doorway to something better than what you had before, and that's why they're asking you to reframe the way you view this potential change in your life, okay? Things are not what they seem. So I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile number 2s, and I hope to see you in the next reading, okay? Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 3s. Welcome to your pick a card reading on the topic of a message you're meant to hear. As I said in the intro, this is a grab bag wild card, excuse the pun, reading where any topic can come out. Could be something about career, romance, relationships in general, platonic or not. Something about family, something about self-improvement, maybe even a spiritual message. So we'll see what pops out. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile was the Beaver and Birch with the tagline of home. We associate beavers with building dams. You know, they build up their homes very quickly in waterways. They are a symbol of security, like home is, safety. And birch itself is a tree of, typically it means new beginnings. So maybe something new with the home is related to this message. But before I get too deep in the weeds on that, let us get to your other cards so we see the full picture before we extrapolate the full message, I guess is the best way to put that. So I'm going to put your Beaver and Birch over here to the pine cone, as always, on the left. And as always, I like to pull the tarot cards on camera. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 3s, could you give me 5 cards explaining more about the message they're meant to hear today at the time they view this video? 5 cards, please. What's the context? What's going on? Excuse me. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3. Definitely that one. 4. And that one's back there, 5. Get the ducks in a row, as I always say. First, we're going to look at your oracle cards. So, first up from the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, you received, okay, we have a landscape. Number 4, the Isle of Wonders. Revelation, teaching, discovery. Interesting. Maybe you've discovered something new or soon will. There's some revelation, something lesson coming. We'll see what else pops out before we say conclusively what that might mean. Next up from the Dream Ritual Oracle, you received create. We have a box with kind of the imagination is the limit. We have, it looks like a painter's palette here. What else? There's a paintbrush, there's some paint tubes, there's a pencil here. Creativity, creating something new. Interesting. Put that over here next to your pile later, your Beaver and your Birch. And then we have your Power of Surrender card. Today you received the Surrender Denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So we have a theme already emerging here, pile 3s, of denial or blindness, and then something coming to light with the Isle of Wonders with revelation, teaching, discovery. Like a new door opening to something new. Interesting. We'll look at your tarot cards too. So we'll set your surrender up here. And first up with your tarot cards we have the Hierophant, Major Arcana card. The Hierophant represents tradition or the way things have always been done. Okay. Card number 2, the Two of Swords, reversed. Indecision. I can't decide what path to take. Where do I go from here? That's kind of what that means. Sorry, intuitive message. I'm going to hold on to that for a second. Okay. Number 3, we have the Lovers. So the Lovers can mean what it says on the tin. It could be a relationship is what's being referenced here in this reading. The Lovers, however, can also represent a choice to be made. So relationship or a choice. Harmony. Sometimes that's, well, 2 of Cups is more harmony than the Lovers, but then we have the Page of Cups reversed. So that's more about asking for more exploration of our emotions. That's what that means. Exploring more of our emotions in some area. And last but not least, we have the Ten of Swords. So this card can either mean, well, sometimes it can mean betrayal, but sometimes it can also mean just feeling like we're at the end of something. We're tired, we're worn out. We feel like we're at the end of our road with something, end of our tether a bit. It's one of those ouchie cards. Like, don't run away from the reading. It's not wholly negative, but it is an ouchie card. It's kind of like the 5 of Cups, or like the Tower sometimes can be an ouchie card, as I put it. In my lighthearted, more childish way, it's an ouchie card. So I'm going to take a drink and look over your cards here and glean the message for you. Pile number 3 is interesting. So let's see. The way things have always been done. Indecision. Choices. Romance. So, pile number 3s. What I'm being told is there is some sort of situation in your life where there is something very close to what you consider your comfort, what you consider your, well, and the reason I say that is because you have home, right? Home is comfort. What you consider like something that you've been building for the future, something you've been creating that's close to home, close to your comfort, that you've been, I don't know if you've come quite to the precipice of this newness coming in with whatever this comfort is, something that's familiar to you, but there's change on the way. That's how I'm going to put it. It's something that, okay, that's a little bit vague. I'm kind of rambling on a bit. So to get into the more nitty-gritty, pile number 3s, there's something new you're going to discover about whatever this thing related to your home or your most, like, your comfort is, because of revelation, teaching, discovery with the Isle of Wonders. Something that you have been denying for a while, hence the surrender denial. Like it says, accepting situations exactly as they are, without denying the difficulties, then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. I think the reason why maybe you've been denying change in this area is because it is home. It is comfort to you. It is something that provides you a sense of security. But the thing is there's a revelation coming in this area that will make it hard to keep that blindfold on of security or comfort with this thing. And I know that sounds really scary. Please don't click off the reading. We'll talk about it more. These readings are always, meant in your highest meant for your highest good, for your soul. Spirit and the universe want you to have, they want to see you succeed and be happy, right? So, getting into your tarot cards. The Hierophant is tradition, the way things have always been done. I think that's more in terms of the comfort. I don't know if you've been in a relationship for a very long time. Pile number 3 is, I don't know if you've been in a certain place for a very long time. That could mean a job, that could mean a home, hence Beaver and, the Birch home. But, so, that's why you associate with comfort, because I've been here for a long time. I've been here in this comfortable place. Maybe things aren't so sunshiny and rainbows, but there's a sense of, I'm going to maybe kind of not think about that. However, there is that underlying feeling of denial. There is that underlying feeling of indecision. I think for most of you, this is a relationship because you did get the Lovers, but it could be something to do with, your actual home here, like with the Beaver and the Birch. And let's see if there's any other abundance of cards, and they're pretty much from all different suits. So it could mean that usually when I see a lot of cards from different suits, it tends to mean to me that it could be a bunch of different areas of life for most of the people viewing this video. Like, for example, if there's abundance of pentacles, it would have been maybe career. If there's abundance of cups, it could have been relationships, just so on and so forth. For some of you, yeah, it could be a long-term relationship because of the Lovers. But whatever it is, it's something that has been comfortable to you for a long time. And I don't want you to come to this reading and hear that and go, oh, crap. Something bad's going to happen in my long-term relationship if you're currently in a long-term relationship, right? I don't want you to feel like, oh crap, I'm going to lose my home. That's not what this reading is about. This reading is about something that you've already had an inkling about deep down. So this shouldn't come as a surprise to you, pile number 3s. This isn't a reading that's like, hey, your relationship's going to end. Surprise. It's something that you've already been feeling because of, like, we have surrender denial, okay? Accepting situations exactly as they are. Hey, this thing isn't sunshine and rainbows. Things aren't working out so well. I don't know. And it was the Two of Swords, especially reversed. It's like, I don't know. I'm kind of indecisive. I don't know what to do. This is what I've always done. This is comfort to me. This is the Hierophant. This is tradition. But I don't know. There's some sort of inkling about, I don't know if I should make a choice. Am I just denying the reality of this situation? And especially too with the Page of Cups reversed, that's asking for exploring your emotions more, pile number 3s. I think maybe you've been stuffing some emotions down, and that's where this denial is coming from. And I always say in my readings, it's not a shaky finger from Spirit to you, and how dare you stuff your emotions down, how dare you deny what's going on, because you know what, we're all guilty of this at times. Everyone has denied a feeling. Everyone has denied moving on from something as soon as maybe they first got the inkling to move on from something. Okay, that's a very human thing. It's not a shaky finger. But what they're saying is that deep down, if you were to explore your emotions here with the Page of Cups reversed, Spirit is saying that they think you would find with this 10 of Swords over here that you're at the end of your tether and you already know that things are not going to work out with this particular situation, whatever it is for you. Like I said, you did get the Lovers. That does tend to mean relationships, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean romantic. It could be a long-term relationship, like I said before. It could be maybe a friendship that isn't working out. It could be, maybe a business relationship. Whatever it is, it's something that's been comfortable, but it hasn't been rainbows and sunshine, and you're not exploring your emotions enough. You're maybe denying some things about how you actually feel deep down. And the feeling deep down from the 10 of Swords is, I am tired. This isn't working out. I'm at the end of my tether with this. Okay. Sometimes it can also mean betrayal is what the 10 of Swords can mean, because literally the traditional depiction is someone being stabbed in the back. And I don't want you to run away from the reading like scared. I think it's something you already suspect, pile number 3s, or something that you've already come to know before you even popped onto this video. Something you've already come to know, something that you already suspect. It's just that it's a little uncomfortable to face the reality because, well, I'm comfortable where I am. Okay? And so it's almost like I think there's some revelation coming, even more, that will really emphasize the reality of what this is. I do want to pull some tarot cards on that because I want to know what the revelation is for you, pile number 3s. I want to know what it is that might actually push you more into... So you could explore your emotions with it now with the Page of Cups reversed, and you're being encouraged to realize, hey, maybe I feel a little betrayed. Things aren't hunky-dory. But I do want to pull... Let me just pull 3 cards for you. Spirit, for my lovely pile number 3s, could you explain to me more, what's the discovery or the revelation with this situation? What's the nature of the revelation? And I know as a general reading, it might be hard down to pin for everybody, but 3 cards, please. Okay, for sure, that one. We have the Queen of Cups, internal mastery of emotions. Interesting. Secure in our emotions. In touch with our emotions. The Empress reversed is a lack of nurturing. A lack of creation. And then last but not least, we have the 3 of Pentacles, teamwork. Interesting. So pile 3s, the revelation is something to do with... So I think once you go through the process of exploring your emotions with that Page of Cups reversed we talked about earlier, there's going to be a more of an internal certainty with your emotions with that Queen of Cups. Something about, there's a strong feeling that once you become secure in it, once you acknowledge it and you say, hey, yep, this thing is here, that's the cusp of the discovery, is when you get in touch with your emotions in this situation instead of pushing them deep down, or pushing them away, I should say. And the revelation is something to do with something you've been working on with someone else, hence the 3 of Pentacles. So that could mean a relationship, right? Because a relationship is teamwork. That's what it is. You're with someone else and it's a teamwork, right? That's what a relationship is. And the Empress reversed is a lack of nurturing. I don't know if I don't want to say anything fully conclusive because with my readings, I like to more guide you to the answer, pile number 3s, because everyone's going to be a bit different, A, and B, you know you best. These are general readings. But if I were to put a pin in what this is, this revelation, especially if it's like a relationship, it's that wherever this relationship is at, it's not nurturing things enough. Maybe things have kind of died a little bit. Maybe things are not being nourished enough. Things maybe have become stale. Things maybe have become not so great. It's not the best place for, if this is like a romantic relationship, let's just say, it's not the best place for both of you to be and grow it to the most that you can. I don't want to say like one person is holding back the other person, but it's just not where you both want to be, or it's just not the best place for you both to grow the most, if I were to put a pin in exactly what the revelation is. And maybe there even is a lack of teamwork here with the 3 of Pentacles. Maybe you've already brought this up to whoever else is involved with this situation, and they've denied it. And maybe even it's made you doubt your own emotions. And maybe that's why it's the Page of Cups reversed we had earlier was maybe you said to the other person or other people involved, hey, I'm feeling this way about what's going on. And they were like, oh, maybe they didn't say, oh, you're crazy, but, oh, well, I don't feel that way. I'm not sure that you're right. But what your cards are saying here is that you were right with that Queen of Cups this is someone who is in tune with their emotions as the Queen of Cups. You were right in your emotions with this. You were right that this wasn't the best place to grow and that there might have been a lack of teamwork even. And there is some theme here too of creativity, which is kind of strange to get in this reading, because not only did you have create here with your Dream Ritual Oracle card, but you have the Empress reversed. And the Empress is oftentimes the card of creation. It's feminine energy in the tarot deck, right? And so it's I don't know, maybe you have misaligned goals. Maybe it's you don't have the same goals for creating the same future. There's some aspect of a lack of teamwork with creativity. I find that fascinating. But yeah, that's the revelation there, pile number 3s. is things have not been nourished or nurtured as much as they should have. There's maybe a lack of teamwork here too. Maybe one person is putting in more effort into whatever this is, be it, you know, a business relationship, a friendship, romantic relationship, whatever, than the other. That's another feeling I'm getting off of this. But whatever it is, pile threes, you know deep down already what the issue is. So this reading should not come as a surprise to you. It's just spirit kind of saying, you know, snapping their fingers and saying, hey, well, wait a minute, I think you might be denying something. That's the feeling I'm getting from this reading. You might be denying, hey, I'm not feeling so great about this. I think this is the end of whatever this is. With that 10 of Swords, that's the I'm tired card. Like literally, if you were to summarize the 10 of Swords, it's the I'm done card. That's what that card means. So it's that feeling of I'm done. It's just that things have been comfortable, and so things have been denied. But there is revelation coming. Perhaps you've already had it, and that's the thing you've been denying, of things are not being nurtured or worked on together enough here. And being secure in your emotions with that Queen of Cups. To say, okay, I admit, yep, this isn't hunky-dory. So I'm going to pull 3 more cards for you, pile number 3s, of advice on navigating the future of this. Okay? So pile number 3 is Spirit. Can you give me 3 cards for the advice for navigating this situation, please? 3 cards. Navigating this in the future. What if you were to give them 3 pieces of advice, what it would be? You're probably going to get more Cups cards. I pretty much guarantee it, but we'll see. Maybe not. We have the Fool. Embarking on a new adventure. Okay, yep. That's pretty loud and clear. Number 2, we have the 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups can sometimes mean apathy. Sometimes it can mean glass half full versus empty thinking. And then last but not least, we have the 8 of Swords reversed. Freeing ourselves from a mental trap. Your advice, pile number 3, is in this situation going forward. New energy, the Fool, embarking on a new adventure. If you're finding that this reading is resonating with you, that yes, things are comfortable, things are going along with what the tradition has been, but you feel kind of done deep down, and maybe there's been emotions you've been denying, you're being highly encouraged to embark on a new journey with the Fool. That's the energy of, literally, it's 0. It's the beginning and the end. It's the very first card in the entire tarot deck, a brand new adventure. So, of course, in a tarot reading, I'm never going to tell you to leave a certain place. I'm never going to tell you to leave a partner. I'm never going to tell you you have to do something, do it now. Especially not in a general reading. But highly encouraged to seek new in your life with the Fool as advice number 1. Advice number 2, the 4 of Cups, apathy. Maybe part of the hesitation has been, well, I'm not sure there's anything better out there for me. In terms of a romantic partner, business partner, friendship, that type of thing. Maybe you have been viewing it, what's another way to put it? Intuitively, I'm almost being told you need to view it with a little bit more, and I don't want to say apathy, but maybe just a little bit more distance, maybe more of a bird's eye view of what's been going on. Intuitively, I'm also being told to perhaps seek the advice of friends in this situation that are not super invested in, or they're not super, not invested, because of course they care, like family and friends care, but they're not super entrenched in the outcome of this, and they can give you maybe a bird's eye view of it. That's piece of advice number 2. Someone who is more apathetic about it, not that they don't care, but apathetic in terms of they're not you in the relationship or this particular situation, whatever applies to you, very invested in the outcome. Someone with more of an objective viewpoint. And then the 8 of Swords reversed is freeing ourselves mentally, freeing ourselves from a prison of our own making is what the 8 of Swords reversed is. You're being encouraged to embark on a new journey and free yourself here with these 2 cards, and perhaps rely on friends and family to help provide different perspectives and help during this time of change. So let's see if there's any other messages for you before I sign off with you, pile 3s. And I think if you have been denying something in this particular situation, pile threes, that revelation is coming in which it'll be a lot harder to deny. And it's not like you have to leave now. It's not like you have to leave this behind and embark on this new adventure right now. But I think future you would look back and thank yourself or feel more grateful if there was less time spent in this dead end and more time having embarked on the new adventure, so to speak, this new journey earlier. So there's no you have to. There's no time limit. There's just future you might regret not leaving this situation faster. That's the one thing I'm being told here at the end. But yes, you already know deep down, pile number three, is there's something here that's not right. There's something here that's not for the best of your growth. And so Spirit is asking you to search your emotions, get in touch with them, respect them, listen to what they have to say. And I think you'll discover that you had the answer for a lot longer than you thought you did. And that it's in your best interest to free yourself from whatever this is. And try to find a new adventure to follow with the Fool card, okay? Because I think with that Ten of Swords, that's, like I said, that's the I'm done card. I'm at the end of my tether. I'm done. I'm tired. So I think you're already maybe kind of worn out from this. And in that way, by freeing yourself from whatever this is, it'll relieve a burden upon you. It'll free you with that Eight of Swords reversed. So pile number three is, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile threes.